I class myself as a pretty robust character, but at one moment in time I thought, I don't know if we're going to do this. I really don't. A downturn of 80%. It was terrible. It was awful. Recession is an awful thing to go through, but when I actually started the business, that was a recession. At the beginning, we were selling a service, a repair service, and we did what we promised, and not long before the word spread and people coming back and getting repeat business, then we started launching into designing and manufacturing buckets.
We were able to put this brand on the map, from a small family business in the northeast of England.
Business was booming, and we were growing annually about 20% increase. 2007 was probably our best year. We touched nearly almost 40 million in turnover, and our EBITDA was around 7 million.
At that time, we had a lot of banks showing a lot of interest in taking over the banking of Miller. Alison was one of those, so we got to know Alison very well. We always liked Alison, she was great. Through that time, we kind of developed the relationship. At the time, though, we weren't looking to change banks.
I don't think anybody saw the impact of the downturn coming. We were on track, and all of a sudden, very rapidly, went downhill. Basically, every customer we had was phoning up saying, the orders, can we just put them on hold? I think at one stage we're sitting on about £7 million worth of stock.
It was almost like someone switched the lights out. It was a shock, there was fear, there was blame.
The people pressure was probably the worst. I think on this site at the time we were around 440 people. And we went from that down to just over 100. And we put a 3-month survival plan in place so that we could, but we were brutally honest with the bank, with the tax man.
I have to say, you realise at this time there's probably no chance at all that Alison and Lloyds would wish to rebank Miller. But because of the relationship we'd established over the last couple of years, she was very keen to help us out. She got to know the business very well, warts and all at the time. I mean, bearing in mind we went from a turnover of 38 million to 8 million within 12 months.
I think they saw in us the absolute dogged determination to succeed. And when the fear subsided, it grew into something else, which was a passion to rebuild.
We started to see light at the end of the tunnel and started to grow. And then one day, we decided that it's time to update Alison. So I asked her to come and see me, sit down, had a chat, explained where we were. And I said, Alison, now is the time where, we really need some support and someone who has the courage to come with us. And Alison said, it's going to be a challenge, but I'll try and I'll do my best.
It wasn't just a case of putting more cash into the business. She structured the refinancing in a way that it would assist with the growth, and that was key. At the time, it was something called confidential invoice discounting. As your debtor book grows through increased sales, you're able to draw down more cash, which helps you to expand. We took out 2 term loans, and again, one of the great things about that was one of it was in sterling, but one of it was in euros, because we have a euro income, but we export into Europe. So we have an income of euros. So it was a great way of doing a natural hedge.
Now we're looking at further expansion again, and we're talking to the bank to help us fund the growth. So we'll have the whole attachment strategy covered. And our plan is to grow that business and be the truly global attachment company, and that's our vision.
Probably the most important relationship we've had in terms of the business survival and the business growing has been the relationship with Lloyds Bank.
Alison will come here and she understands the challenges. She gets really into the detail, which is wonderful, because then when you can have a sensible conversation to explain why you've hit a bump in the road, she gets it. The old saying, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. We've been battered and bruised a little bit, we've never been more up for the challenge, and we will grow and succeed profitably.